Hello everybody, I'm here today for another TF2 commentary. Yes, these are actually doing surprisingly well. Usually my TF2 rants take quite a while to get some views together, but these ones get views quite quickly. It's been a week and my soldier review's already gotten 20 views. It's not bad, it's pretty good for my standards. Anyway, I'm here to teach you how to play as the Pyro. Yes, he's one of those classes that seems quite simple to play until you start playing and then you realise, no, he's not that simple to play. In fact, he's quite he can be quite tricky. The first piece of advice I'm going to give, which I'm going to go straight into it, no dilly-dallying, is you should adapt how you play as the Pyro depending on which class you're playing against. What I mean by that is, scouts, you shouldn't have a problem. You should just, freak out. Just cover them in fire. They should be dead in a few seconds. Most classes, you'd be fine if you just covered them in flames and became the evil arsonist you always dreamed you'd be. Let's face it, if you're a Pyro a lot, that's how it is for you. In my opinion, there's three weapons that are very mandatory if you want to keep the combo I do off and going, which is a flare gun, the flamethrower, and the postal pummeler, the extinguisher. They're the same thing. You can variate this by doing a more of an air blast build by using the reserve shooter or by using any other type of melee weapon such as the power jack, but realistically, on the point I was making, for a Pyro, you should probably be trying to get some flare gun damage before you get on it, unless they have a back burner. Then you're going to win every single time because they have minus 25% damage, which is usually why you beat other Pyros if you take them on. But for examples like heavies, you're more likely to just light them on fire, use your flare gun, and then hit them with the postal pummeler, which is usually, I'm just saying now, an instant kill. Now, when you're dealing with soldiers, it's slightly different because their rockets cause serious amounts of damage to you, and for good reason, because if they didn't, Pyro would be so freaking OP, just ridiculously OP. Literally, he's supposed to not be able to sustain much damage because he can air blast back most projectiles, which it covers a lot of the demographic if you think about it. Like, demos and soldiers are basically useless against the Pyros now, against Pyros that are good. I find it impossible as a demo, probably my favourite class, to kill Pyros because they just air blasted back at me. So against soldiers and demos, air blast a lot. As in, if they're firing multiple stickies at you, air blast them back at him. There's been a few occasions where possibly in this footage, I'm not sure, there's been a few occasions where this dumbass demo thinks he's a badass and I just pop his stickies back at him and he's like, oh fuck, and he just blows up. And he's in shit, and then I'm safe. Same with soldiers. Some soldiers are so stupid they don't even expect you to actually kill them. They're like, what is this sorcery? How do you do this? The second piece of advice I'm going to give, which is linked to the last part of the first piece of advice, which is air blast. Air blast, air blast, air blast, air blast, air blast, air blast, air blast. Holy crap, if you're new to this game, it's just not a good idea to be walking up and lighting everyone on fire, especially classes like soldiers and demos, and you've no idea how many situations air blasting helps you in. It is ridiculous how useful a right click is in this game. If a soldier is spamming at you, air blast. If a demo is firing stickies at you, air blast. If a medic's ubed someone, air blast. When your wife leaves you for a rich lawyer and you still look for alimony, what was I saying? Oh yeah, air blast. Yeah, air blast. Push people back with air blast. Gonna act like that last point never happened. Yeah, the point of the matter is air blast everything. The third piece of advice I'm going to give you is know when to give up. Now, what I mean by that is, the biggest problem I see with stupid Pyros is that they always, when they light them on fire and they cause quite high damage, they keep going, they keep chasing them, holding down the right click and expecting it all to work out for them. It's not going to work out. If you cause a decent amount of damage with your flamethrower, holy crap, just retreat for a second. Or just take out your postal pummeler and just whack these guys like I did. Because you're not going to get out of there alive if you keep walking towards a soldier and holding on the fire button. Know when to stop. People get given out with being WM1ers, and that is why, because some people just don't know when to stop lighting things on fire. Enough is... I know you're a Pyro, and your point is to light things on fire, but holy crap, enough is enough, okay? Enough is enough. Honestly, I am a bit of an idiot in this game, because I do go in that whole arsonist mindset, and I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of being clever and air blast people back and trying to be smart about this. I'm just gonna walk towards people and light them on fire and see how it goes. And see, it just makes me look like a complete dumbass when I do it. And it's actually a good example of what not to do when you're a pyro. Of course, I think I get called new pyro once or twice in this. Like, I get a few good shots, but it's mostly walking forward and lighting people on fire, which is just not an ideal situation for you to be in, ever. Another piece of advice I can give you, and holy crap, this one isn't that important, but you'll be surprised how straightforward it is, and yet no one ever listens to it. I made it a separate point just to highlight it more. For the love of God, extinguish your teammates. There's been so many occasions where I'm on fire and I'm in all kinds of shit and I've run into a pyro and I'm like, yes, found a pyro. Now, if he'd only extinguish me. If he'd only, he's not extinguishing me, is he? And you're waiting there for about a year for him to extinguish you. You'll probably die of afterburn waiting for it because it's not going to happen. Like, okay, I've met some occasional pyros that are complete and utter legends that just go, you know what, mate? I'm going to give you a solid here. Here's some extinguishing. Something like extinguishing a fellow teammate shouldn't be an act of courtesy. It should be expected. So why the fuck do so many pyros not do it? Okay, no, this is for another time and another rant, because I just get so pissed off when I get in these situations because it happens so often, and I feel like Valve should just like make a video and inform everyone that this button exists and you can do this. Because I've tried to tell people, oh yeah, you can extinguish people by air blasting them, and some of them don't even believe me. They're like, seriously? Like, yes, you can try it, and they try it and they're like, oh, and then you're like, oh, Despite the way I'm acting right now, the last point is have fun. Yes, have fun with this game. Because despite what I'm saying right now, this is an example of how you shouldn't be acting in a game of TF2. I was just in a bad mood when I was playing this game. I think I played a scout before that, which is why I was in such a bad mood with other pyros. Because I got lit on fire on more than one occasion and wasn't put out. I had to wait for a medic or try to sprint to the nearest med pack despite 3 pyros being on the team. Again, I'm ranting. Again, I'm getting angry about this. I should really calm down about it. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. If you like what you saw, feel free to see more. If you didn't like what you saw, then I won't see you again next time. Feel free to like, subscribe. Bye.